Ariana Grande is losing herself, and sadly, a lot of us can relate. Millions of her fans are worried about her health and well-being right now after many disturbing images and footage has come out regarding her public appearance, which went viral. In this video, we're getting into the insane, disturbing details of her public behavior and image over the last several years, and then I'll give 2 lessons we can learn from her story to improve our lives. Before we do, I'm Victor Dream. I'm a teacher, and my mission is to help us feel empowered and inspired by learning from powerful stories just like this one. Okay, let's get into it. Ariana Grande is one of my favorite musical artists. She's talented, beautiful, wealthy, and has millions of fans around the world and hundreds of millions of dollars in her bank. I've even seen her live at her Dangerous Woman tour years ago, and I'm telling you, she's one of the most powerful, best singers I've seen perform, period. But while her music career has been absolutely popping off, her personal life has been extremely chaotic and extremely toxic. And as a fan, I'm very disappointed in her openly dysfunctional behavior that she chooses to promote in her music and real life. Let's discuss her openly dysfunctional relationships. First, unfortunately, she promotes behaving unhealed and toxic in many of her songs to her hundreds of millions of followers. For example, she promotes breaking up other women's relationships and stealing their man. In her song, Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored, she goes, break up with your girlfriend. Yeah, cause I'm bored. You could hit it in the morning. Yeah, like it's yours. So basically promoting flirting with the taken man with the girlfriend and encouraging him to leave her so that they can hook up. And it's like, damn girl, this is messy and absolutely wrong and not nice to promote. And another song called One Last Time, she says, baby, I don't care if you got her in your heart. All I really care is you wake up in my arms. One last time, I need to be the one that takes you home. Damn, I was singing this song thinking, oh my God, it's such an innocent princess love song. But damn, nope, it's about cheating song. We got to be careful what we're out here singing and repeating, because that's something this year I stopped listening to a lot of messed up music, because I believe words are spells and we attract the things, and I can't be repeating Ariana's home wrecking and promiscuity anthems no more. The sad part about all of this is that this isn't just lyrics, this is real life. Over the past decade, she's been highly criticized for her pattern of dysfunctional romantic relationships. So let's discuss some of those wild relationships. Here we go, it gets wild. Let's go back to 2014. Do you remember the actress Naya Rivera from the show Glee? If not, she was engaged to rapper Big Sean. And in her memoir book, Naya claimed that while she was engaged to Big Sean, she caught him with another woman at his house. Guess who that woman was? Naya wrote in the book describing that she walked into the living room and found a girl sitting cross-legged on their couch, and wrote that that girl's name rhymes with Shmariana Shmande. So come on, we know exactly who she was talking about. Big Sean and Naya's engagement ended very soon after this in April 2014, and only months later after this engagement, Ariana and Big Sean went public with their relationship, like yay. And I'm like, damn, this overlapping timeline is messy, Ariana. Later, they broke up. And then later, Ariana Grande had a relationship in 2018 with rapper Mac Miller, who was a known struggling drug addict. So it appeared she overlooked many of his red flags and got with him. And sadly, later he died from his drug addiction. But before he died, Ariana and Mac broke up. And only days after their breakup, yes, days, Ariana allegedly started dating a new dysfunctional man named Pete Davidson. Damn, Ari. Days later, what the heck? And it gets worse. Pete Davidson was allegedly in a relationship right before dating Ariana as well. He was with a woman named Cassie David. So they both are going from back-to-back rebound relationships. And of course, when you start messy, it's gonna end messy. Only weeks after dating Ariana, Pete Davidson started getting tattoos of Ariana. Like, I don't know who does that. Permanent body decisions for a girl you just met. Come on, Pete. And things even got wilder. After 1 month of dating, Ariana and Pete got engaged. Lord Jesus, like it just gets worse and worse. But this pattern is not surprising for Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson has shared that he has a mental health disorder called borderline personality disorder, which sadly is one of the most intense mental health disorders where they make impulsive, wild decisions and a lot of chaos in their relationships. I was raised by a family member with borderline personality disorder, and the amount of instability, impulsiveness, and abuse I experienced was so unfortunate. And another pattern of Ariana apparently ignoring red flags, ignoring addiction with Mac Miller allegedly, and ignoring mental instability and a man going way too fast in a relationship with Pete. But it appears this relationship didn't last either. 5 months after meeting Pete Davidson, they broke up. But are we surprised? It's impossible to have a relationship moving at 100 miles per hour and not fall apart. You can't build a healthy relationship on an unstable foundation. But then thankfully, it appears Ariana Grande took a break from all these relationships. I was like, thank God. All her fans were happy. Pause, girl. Heal, grow. And years later, she came out engaged to a new person, a random unknown real estate agent named Dalton Gomez. They got married in May of 2021, and people were like, yay, she's married to this guy off the grid who doesn't even have a big social media presence. This should go well. But sadly, this didn't last very long, this healthy relationship. While she was filming the movie Wicked, things reportedly fell apart. A huge cheating scandal happened. Some are alleging that she cheated on her husband with her Wicked co-star named Ethan Slater. Here's what she cheated on her husband with. He's not a looker. What makes this messier is that Ethan Slater was also married with a newborn baby. And so yes, the world lost their minds and her fans are pissed at her for allegedly home wrecking another relationship after many allegations of her cheating. It's unclear if both of their relationships were already starting to break up before the news, but this is what the conversation was happening. And people were like, come on, Ariana, you can do better. You had a husband, a chill husband. Why do you have to blow everything up? And after this controversy, both marriages ended up in divorce, and this behavior became a stain on both Ariana and Ethan's public relationship. But people started to know something else. After this scandal, Ariana seemed to deteriorate physically. People were like, okay, her dating history is a mess. But she started changing dramatically when she started filming Wicked. She lost a lot of weight from what it looks like, and people were very concerned. Not in a mean way, but people love her. And some of the headlines and comments were saying she looks unhealthy, malnourished, underweight, and honestly saddened and surprised that one of the biggest pop stars in the world right now looks nothing like herself. This just reminds me of when Whitney Houston started looking sickly and losing a lot of weight when she was struggling with alleged drug use and complications. And it got even worse. Her fans' concern for her health and well-being got worse recently in the past couple months when she went on tour and released a music video with her new image. Look at it. It looks really sad, you know? I'm like, what's happening with Ariana? Her team has confirmed that she's stepping down completely from the public life after all of this concern and backlash. It appears Ariana is not doing well with the scrutiny. She's allegedly already started walking away from an upcoming stage show. And so something's happening. People are just hoping, praying that she's okay. I hope she's okay. I think this is a bigger discussion that I want to talk about. Let's start talking about the psychology of someone experiencing something like what Ariana Grande is experiencing. What happens when we lose ourselves? When we get so lost in toxic relationships or struggling with mental health in life that we start spiraling down. Ariana Grande has the talent, the money, the fame, the access to all the resources in the world. And if she can struggle like this, so can we. So let's analyze the psychology. Ariana's life is a great case study that we can learn from. A lot of it, the fast relationships, the impulsivity, the pattern of picking unavailable or chaotic partners, traces back to what therapists call attachment wounds. You've heard people joke about daddy issues or mommy issues, and it's not really a joke. If you grow up with a father or mother who's absent, critical, or emotionally checked out, it shapes what your nervous system thinks love is. And Ariana has actually talked about this herself. Her parents split when she was 8 and then separated in 2013. It's alleged that she went through a falling out with her father that she called one of the hardest things that she's dealt with in her life. And Ariana opened up about this in 17 magazine the following year, and they have since reconciled. But just because you reconcile with your parent later in life does not erase the attachment wounds and trauma that they inflicted on your life earlier on, especially in childhood. And so it starts to make some of her relationship decisions make sense. When we don't get consistent, secure love early on, we don't always know how to recognize healthy love later. And so many of us can accept the closest thing to it, even when it's chaos, even when it's a married man, even when it's someone proposing after 3 weeks, like Pete Davidson and her, because chaos feels familiar. And familiar, even toxic familiar, can get mistaken for love, even when it isn't. And what saddens me is that what Ariana Grande is doing, in my opinion, is a form of self-harm that many of us do. Self-harm doesn't always look like what we think it traditionally is. Self-harm is allowing people to abuse you and cross your boundaries over and over again. Self-harm is starving your body or numbing it with food because you can't stand to sit with your own feelings and emotions. Self-harm is cigarettes, drinking, scrolling at 2 a.m. instead of sleeping. Self-harm is any single behavior that is harming your body long-term that you can't stop doing. But we have to remember that we are worth protecting. And Ariana's story reminds us that what we keep attracting is basically a mirror. I only shared some of the relationships that went this way. There were multiple others that had the same things. When we don't heal, we will keep attracting this over and over again until we finally get the lesson. Our love life is the receipt of the work that we need to do. And so if our love lives aren't going well, like Miss Ariana's, we gotta look at ourselves like, what work do I need to do so I can stop attracting and repeating these same messy relationships? So what 2 lessons can we learn from this to improve our lives? Lesson number 1, heal your trauma or it will destroy you. It's important for us all, including Ariana Grande, to get help for our traumas that we experience in our life. Ariana mentioned she has daddy issues and other traumas that have truly impacted her self-image and behavior. In my opinion, Ariana is a great example of what it looks like when you don't do the work that you need to do in order to have a good relationship. Our pain, our suffering, our traumas will continue to come out in relationships over and over again until we finally look within. When we don't do the work, it shows up in our body image. Some people look overweight or underweight. Some start emotional eating their feelings or develop other eating disorders. And just researching about her story, it reminds me of the popular saying that hurt people hurt other people. But the problem with hurting other people, though, is that the karma will always come and collect. So it's important for us to do this trauma and healing work so that we don't bring that negative karma into our life that comes back to us. I have a hunch that some of the alleged mental health and physical struggles that she's having today could be a result of the negative karma that she's put out in the world through her toxic lyrics, promoting nasty behavior, and the trauma she's done to other women allegedly affecting their relationships and giving them trauma. Her romantic history is not normal, and it's not okay for any of us to take out our problems onto other people. That's not right. So if we also hurt people in relationships, we will also get that negative karma. I did that. For example, in my life, I ghosted a lot of people in my early dating life. And I wasn't shocked that later I was starting to get ghosted and hurt. And I'm like, well, that's the karma that I put out there. I had to reap what I sowed. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. But thankfully, we can do the work to heal all aspects of our lives to change the trajectory and attract good karma moving forward. The second lesson that we can learn from this is to invest in your mind, body, and spirit. Self-worth is the foundation of a good life. We attract people and opportunities based on our level of self-worth and value. In my opinion, I believe Ariana's self-worth is not the highest based on looking at her romantic life and image issues. But so many of us also struggle with self-worth. None of us can live a sustainable, beautiful life without doing the work. Ariana is a great example of someone who has all the money, resources, talent, attention, but we can see that she doesn't look mentally, physically, or spiritually well. Money and materialism isn't going to save you. So I'm going to teach you how we can build self-worth and maintain it. You ready? I'm going to share my personal experience with working on my mind, body, and spirit to transform my life. So for taking care of my mind, I do several things. I have done therapy for 7 years. I got a life coach for a couple of years and other guys to support me on my journey. The mind is the hardest thing to master because we have thousands of thoughts and emotions every day, especially me, and it could take my nervous system off the charts. And so having a guide helped me change my life and gain self-awareness to do the work deeper than I could on my own. The second thing I do is affirmations. Like my favorite ones are, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, I'm enough, I'm deserving of good relationships. I have everything I need to succeed. I'm talented, I'm strong and can handle anything that comes my way. These are my favorite affirmations. The next thing I do is walk, stretch, dance daily. Movement is medicine. I also meditate and sit with my thoughts. I read personal development books from like Tony Robbins, Oprah, and other people who inspire me to go from where I am to where I want to go. Why? Because we're the average of the people we spend the most time with. So when we're reading books by powerful, successful people, we're spending intimate time with them. We hear their thoughts and their experiences. We get to learn from their most powerful lessons and learn from them. The next important area is taking care of your body. This is one of the easiest areas that we can all work on, like today, right now. And the body's powerful because it can shift everything. So some things I do is I move daily. I do weightlifting 5 to 6 times a week. I do 20,000 steps a day. I'm about to go to Zumba actually in 10 minutes. I also do yoga. I'm going to yoga today as well. I eat well. That doesn't mean restriction. It means fueling my body with nutrients and things that my body loves. I also practice intermittent fasting, and that helps my body. We can't ignore our problems. It will show up in our body. Self-care through the body isn't vanity, it's dignity. It's saying that my body is a temple and I'm going to treat it with respect like it deserves. Last but not least, the third area is taking care of your spirit. The things I do is I have a personal relationship with God. I don't believe in religion, but I do believe in connection to the universe, something more, a divine best friend who's guiding me on my journey. That helps ground me in every area. I pray, I speak to God, I journal to God. I learn about God in different ways and different practices. I meditate. I look at God through beauty, nature. I attend weekly spiritual groups. This is important because when we're struggling with losing ourselves and feeling all over the place, our spiritual connection reminds us that we're worthy of love, not temporary, fickle love from a man, but divine love, a love that sustains you when no one's there. Being grounded in a spiritual practice helps us not seek validation from the world. Spirituality helps us find the God and the power within us. So right now, write a list of mind, body, spirit, the 3 or 4 things you're going to do for each one of these that you do daily that help ground you to reconnect to yourself. I wish you all the best on your healing and transformation. And I'm grateful that we got to learn from Ariana's story. And let's all pray for her and send her good energy as she heals and grows. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you on the next video. Mwah.